Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Today we're going to be doing a very simple regular maintenance that often gets overlooked, and that's going to be replacing the air filter. This is a AC Delco air filter. Hopefully you can see that. I'm probably a little bit bright. But the air filter number is going to be listed in the description below, along with links to buy the AC Delco air filter. I always recommend buying 3 or 4 of these when you do purchase them, so you have them laying around and ready to replace pretty much whenever you need to. I like to replace mine about every 25,000 miles-ish on my vehicles. We live in a very dry, dusty area, so they should be replaced more often. And in the summer, I'll usually replace it a little bit more than I would over the winter time. So let's go ahead and replace this air filter. Also, almost forgot, when I do clean my air filter, every other time I like to clean the mass airflow sensor as well. Just make sure that's nice and clean so it's able to accurately measure the air entering the engine to optimize performance and gas mileage. So I'll be doing that too in this video. While you're watching, like, subscribe, share. Look for helpful links in the description. Tell everybody about Scotty's Hobbies. I have a ton of videos on these GM trucks, SUVs, the Chevys, the GMCs, Escalades or Cadillacs, all of those. So make sure you check out the video library if you do have a Chevy truck or SUV. Let's get going on this. Engine air filter replacement doesn't take long. Buy a few of them, get them replaced on a regular basis, optimize the performance of your vehicle. Let's get going.
Now, if you were just going to do a quick air filter change, just change your air filter and that's it. All you would need to do is loosen up the 4 screws, one on each corner of the upper part of the air cleaner box, pull your air filter out, slap a new one in, tighten them up, and you'd be good to go. But in this video, I'm going to give you a way detailed or more detailed version of how I change the air filters in cars when I do them. I don't just do a quick air filter change, we do a complete job. Doesn't take that long, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and share while you're watching. Comment below with the year, make, and model of the vehicle that this video did help you on, and let's get going. All right, here we go. We're going to get going at this real fast. It's going to take not long at all to change this out. So first off, we're going to remove the wire connector going to the mass airflow sensor so we can remove everything all at once. There's a little gray lock on there. Pop that off like mine did. You could just pull it back a little bit and just remove that whole wire connector off the mass airflow sensor. Next, we're going to use a 5/16 nut driver to loosen up the flat strap on the air intake bellow that's going over to the actual intake itself or the throttle body. So loosen that up so we can remove that. Now that we have that loosened up, go ahead and grab a large flathead or a large Phillips crosshead, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to remove the screws out of the upper part of the air filter housing. We're going to pull those all the way back or remove them all the way back, loosen them all the way up to where we could lift up on the air filter housing, and we're going to take everything all apart as one piece, the master airflow sensor and the upper air filter housing box. You can see I ended up having to remove the actual screw out of the flat strap itself. It wouldn't loosen up, so I just pulled that whole screw out, set it off to the side, and was able to wiggle everything off. Now that everything is loosened up, we can remove the whole upper part of the air filter housing box. You can see inside there, or inside the mass airflow sensor, you have 3 little resistors. Those are going to be your mass airflow sensors and the actual air temperature sensors. So you're going to want to clean those off and make it nice and real clean when we're all said and done. Take that all off, take the air filter out. Now, if you have any debris inside your air filter box on the bottom side, grab a vacuum, clean all this stuff out. Sometimes you'll find rodents in here or signs of rodents that were in there at one time. So just make sure this is all cleaned up. Now we're going to grab the upper air filter box, remove the mass airflow sensor unit off of that upper piece. You could just leave it all as one and clean this out, but you want to make sure you get that mass airflow sensor, the honeycomb area, get everything nice and clean. You don't want any dust or any buildup on there. Just clean that all off so that the air temperature can be read a little bit better, and especially the mass airflow. You want the mass airflow sensor to be working the best it can. You can use some brake clean, that's what I use in this video. I've never had a problem with that, but they also do make some electrical components cleaner that might be a little bit better in this case. You'll find links in the description below to purchase either one of those, the brake clean and the electrical parts components cleaner. That'll be down there as well. Now that we have everything all cleaned up, the mass airflow sensors, the air temperature sensor, everything is all clean inside there. Let's reassemble it. You can see there are little notches for everything to line up in a certain direction. So just take note when you're putting it back together, it's all in the right direction. So you don't have to take it apart later on when you realize, oh shoot, I did the job wrong. So just make sure everything lines up properly. Now that we have the mass airflow sensor and the upper part of the intake back together, or the upper part of the air box back together, put the air filter in. With the new air filter in there, we're gonna put the upper part of the air filter box right on top of it, put your bellow onto your mass airflow sensor, tighten up your bellow, and then tighten up all 4 screws on the upper part of that air cleaner box. Now that all that stuff is tightened up, nothing took any extra effort to do it. It should all just line up and tighten up pretty easy. When you're tightening the screws up on the box, don't go super tight. You don't want to strip those out. Just go a little bit snug. They shouldn't back themselves off, and you don't really, like I said, don't go tight at all. Just snug them up. Guten tight, German torque specs, even though this is an American vehicle. Now that everything is tightened up, we're going to install or reconnect the mass airflow sensor connector and lock it into place. With that on there, you're all set and done. Now don't forget, if this video did help you out, comment below with the year, make, and model of the vehicle that it did help you on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody about Scotty's Hobbies, and I'll see you on the next hopefully helpful video.